Multiple lawsuits have cited Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, claiming it disqualifies Trump from being added to the ballot. Section 3, the insurrection clause, was drafted after the Civil War and states that anyone who has sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution and then attempts an insurrection is barred from ever holding office again.
The acting defense secretary announced that the Guard had been activated and listed the people he spoke with prior to this activation, including Vice President Mike Pence, Speaker Pelosi, Leader McConnell, Senator Schumer, and Representative Hoyer. But that list did not include the president. This omission of his name was reportedly not accidental. According to reports, quote, Trump initially rebuffed requests to mobilize the National Guard and required interference by other officials, including his own White House counsel. And later, quote, as a mob of Trump supporters breached police barricades and seized the Capitol, Trump reportedly was, quote, disengaged in discussions with Pentagon leaders about deploying the National Guard to aid the overwhelmed U.S. Capitol Police. Even when the National Guard was finally deployed, he didn't even acknowledge it. In fact, he didn't say a word about the National Guard the entire day. Think about that. The bloodiest attack we've seen on our Capitol since 1812, and our president couldn't be bothered to even mention that help was on its way.
We know that the block of conservative justices, 6 of them, they sort of rule the roost now. They love the strict construction of the Constitution, don't they? They are forever blathering on about the intent of the framers of the Constitution. They brag about how they are originalists. Well, guess what? The language, the express language of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says, if you engaged in or gave aid and comfort to an insurrection after you took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, you are disqualified, period. Original intent, the express language of the Constitution, it's all there, right? It should more than satisfy the Supreme Court, the conservative Supreme Court justices, that Donald Trump is disqualified, provided the evidence establishes he engaged in, incited, assisted, or gave aid and comfort to the insurrection, which he did. The evidence is there in boatloads.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
The language, the express language of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says, if you engaged in or gave aid and comfort to an insurrection after you took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, you are disqualified, period.